Okay, this is us just leaving Valon, and we're expecting rough, but of course this is sheltered in the bay that's Valon, so we don't quite know what it's like outside. We're expecting anywhere between 10 and 12 meters per second wind, and waves of 1.5 meters per second. Um, we're we're trying to decide whether to put um, just the Genoa because we got the nighttime passage, or whether to put full sail. And I'm sort of 50-50, but I'm thinking that it might be better with the expected rough waves and wind to be, which is going to be something like 50 degrees on the port bow. It might be better just to have the Genoa, and because she'll do 6 or 7 knots under the Genoa, and we don't need any greater speed because we want to arrive in Ventspils in daylight. So we've left at about 6:30ish, I think it was, from Valon, and so we want to arrive at a reasonable time, say about 9 or 10 o'clock in the morning at Ventspils, because it's a 14-15 hour stint to get across, and I don't really want to arrive in Ventspils with strong winds and seas and stuff. Anyway, so that's us leaving Valon. We have a bit of a tussle with the Genoa where the system is worn, it needs service. So, but anyway, so that's us leaving. So we've decided that now that we're out of the because it's a very narrow S-shaped channel to get out of Valon. Big bay, but it's very shallow, and it's just this 2 or 3 meter deep channel, which is like an S shape to go out. Here we see that the Furlex has got its problem, where the bottom drum gets twisted as you put pressure on it to get the sail out, and it needs to keep pulling on it. It needs to slack it. What I'm saying is just slack it off, let the wind work it. Really, it only likes to work properly when there's no wind pressing on the sail, when there's no pressure on it. It's a real pain. We need to get it serviced. It ends up with Sasha going ahead because it's been pulled on so much that even slacking the sheet off a little bit and trying the furling line hasn't cleared it. So it ends up with Sasha forward, me letting the sheet really slack, and then it just flies out. So it's a pain, but yeah, it gets there. What I'll do is we're going to lift the boat out early, so it's too cold for long trips. Day trips are all right, but I'm not really a day trip person. I want to go somewhere, and it's too cold at night, so we're going to lift out. We've got quite a bit of work to do. I need to get a cherry picker so I can get to the top of the mast, because it looks like a seagull or something sat on the Windex, because the tail of the Windex is snapped off, so all I've got is an arrow spinning round. The B&G wind direction is a waste of time. It's just totally useless. So here we go, Sasha's going up to the thing, but then you'll see shortly that I get up and I slack that sheet right off, because the sheet's still got a lot of tension on it, which really is not helping at all. Here we go. So I'm looking at it and I know I've got to slack that sheet. So here we go. So get some slack and whip it off, whip it off, whip it off. Just let it slack down, and then suddenly there she goes. She's out. Just needs that little bit of slack to release the tension that's on the bottom drum. Basically, the bearings have gone in the top swivel and the bottom drum, so it allows the whole thing to cant, and then it locks up. It catches inside the outer drum and catches. So that's it. Once it's out, it furls all right. It's just unfurling doesn't like it. So yeah. Alright, so off we go. Here we are. It's evening. We're out of the bay now, and it doesn't look right, but those waves are up to 2 metres high. So we're settling down for the evening. We're hitting 6.5 to 7 knots at the moment, just under Self Tacker Jib. The Self Tacker Jib is about a 50%. So it's quite small. It drags that boat along. Autopilot's working well, which was later on where the rod kept coming off in. We had to put a light lashing later. The other thing is the Garmin UHD display, you can see quite bright on that right hand side. Any water that runs across the touch screen drives it crazy. So luckily we found the lock touchscreen command, but that was after we'd had some real bad issues with it. We finally managed to lock it out, so it was just on press button to operate. Once the night comes, it was absolutely pitch. It looks like blue sky there, but it's not. It is total 100% cloud. And once the sun went down, it was absolutely pitch black, and it's getting cold. We dropped down to about 7 or 8 degrees during the night. In actual fact, when the seas were coming up and over the cabin and I was getting wet, the water was a lot warmer than the bloody air around me. So, but yeah, it was a very uncomfortable night. My legs were terrible. Just bracing across the cockpit. At the moment, doesn't look too bad, but it gets aggressively worse. All right. Okay, it's about 6:30 in the morning, sun's coming up. It's been a long, difficult night, and the video doesn't show half of what it's like out there. We've been averaging up to 9 knots with just that small Jenny on the Self Tacker. Averaging about 6 to 7, but she hits 9 knots at times. Because those waves, it doesn't look like it, but some of those waves are up to 4 meters high, and it's like we're climbing mountain and then sliding down. And of course during this we've got the problem that the autopilot during the night about 4 times came off the pin on the tiller. So it's been lashed on now. Maybe the hole's got a bit worn or something. I don't know. I've got to check it. Or maybe the pin's moving in the tiller. And of course, the bloody domestic batteries that power all the navigation systems. One of the batteries has basically died, so the other battery is being bled from it. And we get about an hour's power for the nav lights and the navigation system and autopilot before having to put the engine on. So that's why you can hear the engine in the background. The engine's not pushing us at all, because I've got only just about enough fuel, I reckon. if we need to use the engine. So I'm just running it on idle to charge the domestic batteries. So we keep running it sort of like 30-40 minutes every, well, say yeah, about 40 minutes in every 2 hours. I have to keep running the engine. It's a pain in the ass. But anyway, we're getting there. But yeah, turns out that it was a tail end of a storm that we went through. So no wonder it's rough. You can't hear it, but that wind is literally not whistling, it's screaming through the rigging. It really is something else. That's not 12 or 13 meters per second. That's more like 14, 15. Tail end of the storm. And the water is a little bit confused. It's not all in one direction, and it throws the boat. The boat is swinging around sometimes 40-50 degrees on its course. The autopilot has done a magnificent job keeping it. It would have been very, very difficult by hand to go all night. It's because it really has been hard. So it's something else. Now we're on the approaches to Ventspils. You can just see Ventspils just on that horizon, and thing is we're crossing over a shelf, and it's known to be very rough outside of Ventspils port at times, depending on the wind direction and the sea's running direction. It's an unusual thing. You think with the straight coastline it would be quite good, but sometimes it can be really rough there. So we've got a bit of a confused sea here, as you can see. It's banging us all over the place, but yeah, it's good to see the end in sight. That's 14-15 hours of hard slog. So yeah, we're getting there. So we've had the engine running since about 6:30, 7 o'clock, continuously, keep the batteries up and everything. We noticed that during the night, one of the real heavy seas has knocked out the dual port starboard light that's underneath the pulpit. I've got to go back to the boat sometime and have a look, see if it's still there. I never checked. I was so tired when we got alongside. I never looked to see if the light was still there. But that got knackered during the big wave hit it. We had the tricolour. I'm not a tricolour liker, but at least it was there. So that gave us a light during the night. Sasha's on the tiller now. Basically, we're approaching the breakwaters. We don't want to hit the stones like we did with my other boat, even though we were about 10 meters clear. One of the stones took the kit, cracked the keel on the other boat. So we're going to stay well away, and it's time to get the Jenny in. So that's what we'll do. The Jenny doesn't come in too bad. Okay, it takes a bit. So, Ventspils. God, look at her, she's still careening about. Okay, we've just rounded the breakwater and just rounding the breakwater and coming into the port, and you can see she's a little bit rough in the entrance, which is actually normal. It's not the best of designs of breakwater angles here. They made them too straight. They should have put a crook in the end to help, because you get a lot of deflection of waves, a lot of deflection of running seas, which tends to make it confused, and it can get very rough even for the first half of inside of the breakwaters. Small boats can have difficulty here, so it's something to be aware of. Anyway, she'll start to quieten down, and that's us getting into the harbour, into the commercial harbour. And you're supposed to stay right over towards the starboard side out of the main channel. But please, anybody coming in, stay in the middle until you get well inside the breakwaters, because of those breakwater stones they use. A lot of them have fallen in and they haven't been recovered. So if you run over them when the water's a bit low, when there's high pressure or something, you can actually come unstuck. So you can actually hit one. But anyway, that's us inside, and we'll steady down as we get further in. I am completely wet through from being out there all night, and I'm so tired and worn out, I even have trouble getting into the cabin. But I'm absolutely drenched through, and that's it. We're not doing this again. We're not going through a storm again. And I know Sasha is not feeling too good himself as well. So, but just to get that wet, the jacket, it's a proper sailing jacket, but the water got down the neck, under the, around the bum and inside, and when the waves came up and over, it just drenched me. So I'm absolutely wet through. Feeling a bit better now, so I'm thinking about getting stuff ready, and Sasha says, no, leave it to me, you've been out all night, so yeah, but I'm so tired, it's been a long night. Okay, this is coming into the yacht harbour, and we're both so tired. Well, I am especially, and I fluff up coming alongside the pontoon. Sasha wasn't too happy. He was ready with lines, but we're so tired. He stood on the bow instead of midships, which which didn't help. And I didn't get it close enough for him to be able to get off. So it was a total fluff up. But yeah, we got her in. We were so tired. We basically Sasha slept on the boat before going home. I dragged myself off and went home, had a bath and everything. But anyway, we managed to get her in and put her alongside, and it's just a matter of going back to tidy her up, sort her out, and getting her ready to lift out so we can do some of the repairs that's needed. This shortly, this is where this boat has no midships mooring cleats at all, so there's no way to spring except from the bow and the stern, which makes it very awkward. She's a big boat, and it's not so easy to gauge where you are with the bow. Sasha tries, but and I'm so bloody tired. We come in. If we had a midships cleat and could drop that line over to spring it, then when we come in now, she would have just brought herself alongside. But Sasha insists in working from the bow instead of from midships, and I'm not used to that. So we come in, and it's too far off for Sasha to do anything. I'm so bloody tired. So we had to go back out and do it again. If we'd had a midships cleat and a short spring line, that would have been it. We would have been in and finished. Now I've got to go astern, go back out and try again. So it's one of the jobs. I've got all the L angle, aluminium angle to fit, cleats to fit, and everything to sort out. You see, if he could do it from where he's standing now, then we'd be fine. And he's moaning at me because I wasn't close enough for him to step off. Well, I don't know how you step off from the bow. So yeah, he's giving me a lecture. Yeah. Anyway, this time I'm trusting him because I'm literally pointing the bow at that bloody pontoon, and I don't like it. I like to slide in with a little bit of a gap and a spring to spring on and pull her alongside, but it's close enough that he can jump off. He still didn't like it, but anyway. And unfortunately, why he doesn't spring it there, he takes the line all the way forward. So and now I can't keep the stern in. So but anyway, we got her in. So that's it.